Welcome in Wednesday edition. Blue Sky Live here with you this morning. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio. There's an all SEC team. Got a lot of Rebels on it. We'll go over that a little bit. Greg Sankey wanting to potentially already shift the college football playoff format. We'll talk about some of that here today as well. And then Bill Belichick pondering an offer from North Carolina. They're pondering his offer, whatever the hell's going on there in Chapel Hill with the six-time Super Bowl champion, formerly of the New England Patriots. So we'll hit those things. Does that mean more? Does that mean less than just simply the situation it's in? A lot of stuff coming up today on the show.
I mean, at this point,
show brought to you.
I might as well just steer into it at this point. I'll just start getting some gear, wearing it, steal some of Carson's stuff
somewhere. It's up there.
Carson's got a hat. I could just go steal it real quick
It's
and
right
wear
there.
it the whole show. No, that's the big hat. He's got like a
It's
baseball.
the Houston hat.
He's got a baseball cap.
Okay.
I could go get his baseball cap and wear it.
Blue Sky locations all through the state of Mississippi. They're up on I-55. They're out in North Mississippi as well. And then Sweet Daddy's locations, ribs, pulled pork, side items, desserts, and plenty more. I mean, coming up soon, they can even like smoke some of your meats and stuff for Christmas. They take care of you in a lot of different ways. If there is a Blue Sky nearby, probably a Sweet Daddy's nearby as well. Again, locally, lunch specials, $5.69, couple sides bread, any size fountain drink. And again, come to the Clark Ford Studio.
Yes, Clark Ford Studio. We're Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. And the rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi, providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit CampbellClinicOxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111. Yes, my loyalty is to Oxford soccer. It's got probably about a month and a half left in my fandom. Then that fandom will end. That fandom is a very specific fandom.
That is not an ongoing, perpetual fandom.
It will expire.
It will expire.
Got about a month and a half left in it, I'd guess. At most, it's got almost 2 months in it. That's the limits.
You'd like for it to be 2 months.
I'd like for it to go to the first weekend of February, but it might not. If it doesn't, the expiration date will come in.
Filibuster for like 60 seconds. I have something kind of important for a second.
All right. Let's see. In the thread. Let's see. SEC basketball. We're going to talk about it in a minute. The league is loaded. They just keep getting good win after good win after good win after good win after good win. And a lot of people talking about 10, maybe even 11 bids in NCAA tournament. So that absolutely could happen. Yeah, let's see.
You think 11's doable?
Yeah. Yeah, if the numbers bear it. You look at the net ratings, the numbers right now kind of bear it. I mean, so everybody's just going to play quad one games. So you're going to get quad one wins. Losses aren't going to hurt you. I can't remember who it was, but there was an SEC team 2-3 years ago.
A&M got into 8-10, right?
It may have been A&M.
Or maybe they got left out. Arkansas got into 8-10?
I was trying to think, was it Arkansas? Then
Yeah.
I was like, do I even want to mention that?
It was Arkansas or
possibly
A&M, I think. That sounds really...
I want to say it was the Arkansas team that had Nick Smith and Anthony Black and all the young dudes that are in the NBA now. I think that team went 8-10 in the league, but their net was so good that they got in. They played a really difficult schedule, and they had a collection of quad one wins, and they got in. I think you're going to see that happen this year. So when you play Alabama and Auburn and Florida and Kentucky and Texas and Ole Miss, like I think I saw, they were the team that did it last night. Arkansas beat Michigan in New York, and I think their net jumped 13. So their net's in the 30s now. They'd be in the tournament. Easy.
Last season, actually, I'm reading here, March 17th, 2024, Mississippi State, 21-13, 8-10 in the SEC, was an 8 seed, and played Michigan State in the first round this past year.
Yeah. They had a bunch
I didn't remember that. That's not the one either one of us were referencing, but that did occur.
Yeah. And they were a good team.
Michigan State was a 9 seed at 19-14, 10-10 in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think Michigan State won that game.
I think so. I don't think Mississippi State played well. I remember State played well in Nashville last year in the tournament. You'd watch them and go, man, I'm surprised this team lost 10 games.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we'll get into that.
I mean, the tournament will be wild this year because, I mean, there will be –
anybody's beatable.
I mean,
there's really good teams.
8-9 teams that could conceivably get hot and go win it.
You talking about the conference tournament or the national tournament?
The conference tournament. Yeah. I mean, be just kind of silly. No, there's nobody bad.
No, on a single night, anybody get you.
I mean, I guess South Carolina's a, quote, bad team, and yet they have a lottery pick on their team, potentially. Georgia's good. Vandy's capable.
Stream saying Lenardi had 12 in with 2 SEC teams and the next 4 out.
Yeah.
Again, they're going to kind of beat up on each other. It's cannibalization to some extent.
But if you don't have bad losses.
And there aren't spots for bad losses.
I mean, we see it in softball. You see it in women's basketball. You see it in baseball. There's no reason you can't. You've seen it in.
Yeah.
I mean, the big, not the Big East, the ACC's gotten 10 or 11 before.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers bear it.
I get it. I agree with you. I've heard a lot of you say it. The Ole Miss non-conference schedule is god-awful for home games. Just pathetic. You guys got nothing.
Yep.
Your league schedule is going to be damn good at home.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have something every single night. And it's going to be hard to win on the road. I mean, I know analysis and whatnot, but it's going to be really, really hard to win road games.
It's going to be really hard to win games, period. Everybody's really good. Everybody's really talented. I mean, the Arkansas example last night was a really good one because I think most people put Arkansas sort of middle of the pack in the league. I think if you ask 10 people who watch a lot of SEC basketball, hey, where does Arkansas rank? They'll probably put them no higher than 7 and probably no lower than about 10.
Yeah.
And they go play Michigan on a neutral site. Michigan's ranked 14th in the country.
That's what they were.
Yeah. And at one point, I mean, Arkansas kind of stumbled down the stretch. But at one point, you look on the floor and they've got Fland and what's his name? Tiro. I can't pronounce it. He's an NBA guy. He gets put in all the mocks. I mean, they've got NBA talent on that team.
A couple things there on that. I had it on the schedule anyway, so for the day, so we'll go ahead and hit it in a second. While I'm pulling up some advanced stat numbers, Kyle, thanks for Super Chat. Appreciate you always in the stream. Says, who is under more pressure to win next year, Freeze or DeBoer?
Freeze.
Not
even close.
Because he can get canned next year.
Yeah.
That automatically makes you. What's the over-under for success, however, for Freeze next season? 7.5?
I mean, he's got to do more than that.
Hey, he can't get it more than that.
Well, his problem is he can't keep losing to Georgia and Alabama every year.
Well, and it's not exactly a small order. I mean, they're light years from evenness with those teams. Again, perception, reality.
It is what it is.
I get it.
I wouldn't want to be him 0-6 versus Georgia and Alabama at the end of next season. I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't want to have that on my resume. That would be.
It's one of the underlying things that makes that such a bad, hard job.
I kind of agree with Grind. I think they have to go to the playoffs. You asked a question, I answered it.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. College football is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is.
But if I told you to rank the SEC teams in likelihood of making the playoff next year, you're going to go down.
How in the world would I do it?
We have no roster. I understand.
Like if you told me right now, hey, do a win-loss guess on Ole Miss. You said, what's the ceiling? I'd go 12-0. You say, what's the floor? I'd go like 2-10.
Who's the quarterback? Who's the running back? Who's the wide receiver?
I have no idea who's on the roster.
Yeah.
And I could probably do that at most of the schools.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's SEC teams that are getting ready to go to bowl games, and they don't have enough players to play. I don't know how anybody can look at this and go, yeah, is that ridiculous? Of course, but the sport's ridiculous right now.
Yeah, that's a good question. Has there ever been a time where Bama and Auburn fired a coach in the same offseason? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that I recall.
I am far from an historian on Alabama college football. Ole Miss currently by Ken Palm. By the way, they play next on December 14th. That is in Biloxi against Southern Miss down at the Mid-South Coliseum. Or not Mid-South. What is it? What's it called? That's wrong.
Mississippi Coast.
Mississippi
Coliseum.
Coast Coliseum. There we go. Mid-South will be Memphis, not the Gulf Coast. Biloxi is not Mid-South. They have Ole Miss projected 20-11, 9-9. That is a certifiable tournament lock if you went.
Oh, you'd be a
20-11, 9-9.
6 or 7 seed.
Again, this is what I mentioned the other day. They have them because it's bad teams. They have them routing everybody the next 3 games in their non-con, 96%, 96%, 98%. They are giving them a 44% chance of going to the FedEx Forum and beating Memphis.
Yep.
Next week.
When's that?
December 28th. So not next week, a couple weeks away. December 28th at the Forum up there, 44% on that one. And then in league play, this is what is fascinating, is that there's not anything, because of how good the league is, even your home games, small margins that you're going to win.
Yeah.
And then on the away games, there are only, from a statistical look at it, there is only, scrolling quickly, there's only one game on the entire schedule that Ken Pom has them basically a guaranteed loss, even on the road.
Which one's that? At Alabama?
At Auburn.
At Auburn, yeah.
They're giving them only a 13% chance.
Yeah, Auburn doesn't lose at home.
At Florida, I mean, it's 27%, but I mean, that's still punchers. That's not completely out of the realm.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not lost there. But their highest home game, LSU, 73%.
They open with Georgia, right? What's that?
66.
Okay.
At Arkansas, 44.
Yeah.
LSU at home, 73.
Yeah.
At Alabama, 23. Sorry, I missed that one earlier. State away, 35. A&M at home, 58. Missouri away, 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Texas at home, 68. Auburn at home, 31. Tough game.
Yeah.
Kentucky at home, 47.
Auburn's really good.
LSU away, 51. South Carolina away, 57. By the way, you might want to get that one. Mississippi State away, at home, 60%. Vanderbilt, 56 away. Auburn, 13 away. Oklahoma, 69 home. Tennessee, 34 home. Florida, 27 away.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
Get a huge opportunity the second to last game of the season with Tennessee at home.
Yeah.
Right there sitting on March 5th when you might need it.
And where they might be starting to.
They're in. And so it's that. It's always that away senior last game, tough to win on an opponent's floor.
Yeah.
It's why it's going to be hard to win at Florida that very last game of the season.
Yeah, because I sent some money to Todd just yesterday.
He got over his little thing, right? Is that past? Where's he at with that? Is that just details at this point?
It's basketball coaches. Come on.
They're more sane than football coaches.
Yeah.
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 They are.
Yeah. They're more normal.
Yeah, that's the word. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sane's not the right word.
Yeah.
Normal. If you're just picking out one section or the other to have beers with, you choose the basketball coaches.
All day.
If you had to go in bed in either the coaches' meetings in basketball or football in the SEC, you would choose the basketball meeting to go in bed and hang out for 72 hours.
Oh, yeah. God.
I mean, you'd get stories. You'd go have a pie and have a cocktail.
Be a little more relaxed. A lot less paranoid. There's paranoia in college basketball, but it's nothing like it would in football, where it's just total paranoia.
Total paranoia.
It is.
That's fair.
It's insanity.
Let's look at the league real quick. Closing out this segment. So here's your Ken Pom rankings as of today.
Okay.
And again, everybody's winning here. I mean, A&M, by the way, plays Purdue Saturday. So if you want to see the next shot for a league team a little bit, I'm looking at who's coming up this weekend.
Give them a shot. Real shot.
Oklahoma plays Oklahoma State this weekend. I don't know if Oklahoma State's any good or not, but I assume they're decent.
I don't know.
Is Ohio State any good?
I think they're okay.
Auburn plays Ohio State this weekend.
I like Auburn.
Do you?
Yes.
Tennessee, Illinois this weekend.
Oh, that'd be a hell of a game.
Yeah, Tennessee, Illinois this weekend.
Illinois is good.
LNU bounced back from their loss to somebody a couple of games ago. They beat number 20 Wisconsin last night.
Who did?
Illinois.
Okay.
Illinois beat Wisconsin last night.
Gotcha.
Alabama plays Creighton this weekend.
Oh, yeah, good game.
Yeah. Florida, Arizona State. Again, A&M, Purdue.
No, Florida, Arizona State would be a good game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think SMU is very good. LSU plays SMU. I know nothing about them.
Yeah, LSU's one of the teams that would be out of the tournament.
They're 8-1. They've done a good job just beating the teams they're supposed to beat.
Yeah, no, he's a good coach.
So in order of Ken Pom ratings, Auburn number 1.
Yeah.
Tennessee, number 2.
Yep.
Alabama, number 7.
Surprised they're that low.
Florida, number 8. Kentucky, number 9. A&M, 23. State, 26. Ole Miss, 27. Georgia, 37. Arkansas, 38. Texas, 41. Oklahoma, 44. Missouri, 50. LSU.
So Missouri's your first bubble team.
Yes, at 50.
Yeah.
That means
how
12
many are in front of them?
12.
Yeah.
No, they are the 12th.
They're the 12th. So 11 in.
No, sorry. They're the 13th. My fault.
So you'd have 12 in because the 44 is probably getting in.
44's in. In that league,
44's in. So Missouri's 50. They'd be on the bubble. Who's next?
LSU, 54.
They'd be on the bubble.
Vanderbilt, 60 would be out.
They'd be out.
And South Carolina, 66. The dead last team in the conference has a KenPom of 66.
Yeah, so there's no quad 3s, there's no quad 4s, there's no nuclear bombs on the schedule. So
just play the games.
Just play the games.
And get to 8 and feel great about it.
I think get to 8 and you're in. 8 and 10 gets you in. And the tournament will be just nothing but fun and meaningless. Everybody go play, which will make it absolutely fun. Yeah, Grinds points out that Creighton beat Kansas.
Ole Miss currently 14th nationally in offensive efficiency and 72nd nationally in defensive efficiency.
I've got a mailbag question about them. I like everything about their team except one thing, and the one thing's a big thing:
rebounding.
I don't like their rebounding.
It's awful.
I don't. They can improve on the fringes there, but I don't think they're going to become a great rebounding team.
The offenses in this league: Auburn's 1, Bama's 4, Florida's 5, Kentucky's 9.
Mm-hmm.
State 17, Ole Miss 14. I mean, good God.
Yeah.
Tennessee's the second-ranked defense in the country.
Yeah, that's what his teams are known for.
Mm-hmm.
You have great basketball coaches in this league. I mean, legends.
The conference net rating right now, they are blowing everyone away. They're over 3 points higher than the Big Ten, which is number 2. They're at 19.7. The Big Ten's at 16.7. Big 12, 16.60. I still like them.
Yeah.
Big East 13. I mean, we're weirdly fall. ACC down at number 5 and at 10.29. They have half the power rating of the SEC. It's a down league.
Well, comparing anything right now to the SEC's, it's going to pale in comparison.
And this isn't changing. NIL money's still going to come into basketball. Now, what is it going to look like? I don't know, because that's the fascinating part, not to get back down the way rabbit hole yesterday. I don't want to do it. But when you talk about how to split it all up, if these schools stick to this 75-15, 5-5 thing, okay, off the straight house settlement revenue, well, quick math tells me that 15% of $20.5 million is about $3 million. Yeah. That's less than almost every SEC school's NIL for basketball.
Significantly.
So you will have to make that up with the collective side of the pie there at that point.
Why would you give 5% to women's basketball?
My hunch is they don't. That's just simply the default settings right now.
Yeah. And what was the percent to baseball?
It's 5 for everything else.
Yeah. I think a lot of these programs will not give 5 to baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They won't give 5 to women's basketball.
They're going to figure out how collective and house settlement side they can make sure they maximize football and men's basketball, and then see. I think you're about to see every other sport go to sport-specific NIL donors who want to give to that sport.
Yeah, like the people at Oklahoma that just give to softball.
Yeah.
Cool.
And maybe that's 50,000 and maybe that's 4 million, but whatever that number is,
cool,
goes to that at that point. That's my guess. Again, people are going to sue over Title IX, but I think there is the easy argument that Title IX will not apply here. And administrators do not believe Title IX is going to apply here.
BWL says, how has the conference improved so much in the last 7 to 10 years? It's come a long way. It has. It improved because they committed to it. Yeah. They dedicated SEC staff to it. They made sure that it got emphasized. It's one of the reasons that years ago when Ole Miss built the pavilion and there were people going, I don't know why you're doing this. It's a waste of money. No, it was an absolute necessity. It had to be done. It was an absolute requirement. And what you have, you look around the league and you have a collection of elite coaches. Elite coaches. And then now they're putting resources into it. There are several programs in the league that are heavy NIL. but it's mostly it's elite coaches who are great program builders. I mean, Bruce Pearl is phenomenal at what he does. Phenomenal. I mean, I know he hasn't won a national title yet, but he took Auburn to the Final Four. Nate Oates took Alabama to the Final Four. He is a terrific coach. You can love him, hate him, whatever you want to do. He is a terrific coach. Chris Beard took Texas Tech to a national championship game. Look at what and Ole Miss from a program standpoint is just night and day from where it was a couple of years ago. I mean, we made the joke, but Todd Golden's a really good coach. John Calipari has a phenomenal track record. Rick Barnes is elite. Among his peers, one of the most respected coaches.
I get he doesn't have a ring, but he's
Mark Pope's done a great job wherever he's been, and Kentucky looks really good. Just the list goes on and on. I'm leaving people out.
That's the point. The other day, we went through like 10 coaches, and I went, wow, we didn't mention Buzz. Yeah. And I'm like, we're 10 coaches in.
Buzz Williams is elite. A very consistent coach. It's just a really tough league. That's how it's happened. I mean, they've committed resources to it. The coaching's elite.
Coaching's better and money.
And they get elite athletes. And you look at you start to look at the NBA now. There's a heavy SEC presence. Mm-hmm. It's only going to grow. That's it. It's not particularly complicated. They dedicated themselves to it. That's what happened.
And they hit it, yeah. All right, we'll come back and talk some football after this. First show sponsored by BetterHelp. What's your favorite part of the holidays? What moments and things make you happy and cozy at home during December? How do you stay cozy during the winter months? For some, wrapping up in a blanket with a mug of hot chocolate or watching a movie with family. Best way to spend the month of December. Great way to bring yourself some comfort. Never goes away. Even when the season changes, is therapy. Look, you go talk to somebody, got stuff going on. Holidays brings a lot of things out. When that happens, it's good to speak to a professional, somebody with no preconceived notions, family, friends. They can have their own thoughts, own emotions that come into the conversation. But when you mention therapy with BetterHelp, instead, you just get a licensed professional ready to help you. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, suited to your schedule. Brief questionnaire gets you matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch at any time for no additional charge. So find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/MPW. 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/MPW.
You've had Wendy's Nugs dipped in sauce. If you had them covered in sauce, Wendy's new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you already love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker, try spicy ghost pepper only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. So pick a flavor, grab some napkins, and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before for a whole new way to nug. It's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's. We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, but the same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, that area, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern, 662-429-4429. We're brought to you by Window Hero. From window cleaning to pressure washing, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, and everything in between, Window Hero has the experience, equipment, and expertise to make your property look and feel brand new. If you're in North Mississippi, let Window Hero make your home or business's exterior look amazing. Their experts are fully bonded and ensure they provide specialized equipment, exclusive cleaning solutions, a satisfaction guarantee, and more. If you are in North Mississippi, get in touch with Roby, Susan Allen. They're dedicated to helping Oxford and all of North Mississippi with their windows, gutters, and everything in between. Call Window Hero at 662-510-7077 to get an estimate. Learn more at windowhero.com. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Sego Wealth Management, specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. So whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting. See what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. We're also brought to you by Grenada Home Center. They've got paints by Benjamin Moore, Pittsburgh Paints, Farrell Calhoun, flooring of any and all types, stone countertops, whether you're looking for granite, quartz, or anything else, window treatments from plantation shutters to whatever else suits your fancy. It's Grenada Home Center, 1301 Sunset Drive, Suite H in Grenada. Call them at 662-226-3127.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area and G&M Pharmacy, Oxford, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they take care of you with MedSync. They fill prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery. You have everything you need it when you have it with G&M. Also, they can transfer those medications, one phone call, and they take care of the rest. Again, whether that's Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs or G&M in Oxford, 662-236-2222. A little bit of I said Oxford Exxon, and then once I did that, I completely went blank. I couldn't get back on any train of thought whatsoever. So I apologize for that. Yeah, I don't know. All right, Greg Sankey yesterday. Media talked to him while he was at the Bellagio in Las Vegas for the National Football Foundation Awards. By the way, the Scholar Athlete thingamajiggy that Jackson Dart was up for, Jalen Milroe won that last night, I believe.
Always Alabama.
He did not have the highest GPA on that list.
See?
There was one kid on there from Ohio State, the center, that had a 4.0 in finance. And I'm like, why are we not handing him the award?
Yeah, come on.
Like, what do we do?
Just give it to him.
I mean, Jalen Milroe was like, smart guy probably. It was like 3.4 in management. And I'm like, whoa, no, hold on. I got questions. And it was like one dude from like Carnegie Mellon that had like a 4.0 in like mechanical engineering or something.
Just give it to him.
But he's got less NIL than Jalen.
Probably safe.
Think Carnegie Mellon has a big NIL program?
Yes, it's called the job market. They do.
He's going to be just fine one day, is what you're saying.
It kicks in once you leave. Yes. It's actually an institution of higher learning. Yes. There you are, a student athlete.
The diploma goes on the wall, and that counts. So, okay. The Sankey thing's kind of annoying me a little bit. And we haven't talked about this. All right. As we mentioned yesterday, this went into process prior to expansion. So it was built for 5 conferences that, in theory, were all somewhat equitable.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Prior to Texas and Oklahoma and Oregon and Washington that screwed the numbers because those are teams that typically would be in the playoff conversation and take bids away from major conferences when that happens because of the automatic bid thing.
Okay.
In theory. Well, not theory. It happened. So Sankey comes back and basically says, I need much more information on how, I don't have the direct quote, maybe you do, but he says, I need much more information on what the committee was thinking when they made the decision.
Mm-hmm.
I need to have a much better understanding with their decision-making than I have right now.
It was a very diplomatic way of saying, I'm pissed.
That is correct. And then
I've caught hell. It's that deal like sometimes, like Carson and Aka live upstairs.
Uh-huh.
And I'll come upstairs and both rooms are disasters and it smells like a locker room. And I'll tell them, hey, guys, here's the deal. If she comes up and sees this and smells this, I'm going to get it. And when I get through getting it, you're going to get it.
Yes.
So you get to decide sort of how you want to handle this.
I got yelled at, so I'm yelling at you.
So, yeah, or you can take care of this. She won't know, and all's
no one
good.
Gets yelled at.
And that's where Sankey is right now.
But
His room got caught. He's getting yelled at, and now he's about ready to take it out on the people that did it.
I get it. But here's the thing. His only other comment, which is true, this is an accurate comment from Greg Sankey. We're seeing the stress points that we knew would be there, but I think they are as or more volatile than we thought. That was the only other thing he said, referring to, again, how the changes have affected the bracket placement. But, okay, here's the problem that I have is it can't be both. Sankey either understood the issues and did nothing to try to offset them and simply celebrated this moving up to this thing, or he thought we're going to go 10-2, we're going to get 5 bids in, and if we just manage things properly, we're going to get our own share and it's going to be fine, which would have happened had Oklahoma lost Alabama and Florida lost Ole Miss.
Had Ole Miss beaten Kentucky.
But if that's the case, then you don't need to change anything. It can't be both. It can't be that you're the victim and you got to change everything immediately.
Agreed.
You're talking out both sides of your mouth at this point, right?
Yeah, well, I'm sure that if you were to put truth serum into him, he would have a lot of frustration at a lot of different people.
Sure.
I think he would probably have the same frustration that a lot of people have as it pertains to Alabama, for example. He would probably say, yes, I fought for you, but my God, you lost at Vanderbilt. You lost by 3 touchdowns at Oklahoma. I'm sure he would love for Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin and all the – Lane gets a lot of attention. I mean, Kirby and Sark are sitting up there talking to Laura Rutledge, and the topic of the conversation for several minutes is Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
They would love for Lane Kiffin to be in. But I'm sure Greg Sankey's like, my God, you lost at home to Kentucky. And as much as Ole Miss people are tired of hearing that, it is a valid argument.
Sure.
And then they look at this and go, but why are we doing what we did? No one's been able – I've asked a lot of people, why did y'all sign off on the whole group of 5 thing? And when people go, well, lawsuits. Okay, specifically, tell me like I'm 5. Who is suing who? Who is suing who and where? Where are you going to get this injunction? Who is suing who? Because, like, it's one thing for me to go, I'm going to sue you. Okay, cool. The threat of me suing you has whatever value it has. For me to actually get punitive restoration, if we will,
I have to sue.
I have to actually go sue you in a court.
Yes.
With the judge who goes, yes, this is grounds for a lawsuit.
Yeah.
I've asked that question, and everybody just goes, well, they're going to sue. Who is suing who and for what? And no one's been able to explain that to me like I'm 5 years old. I have a better understanding of cryptocurrency than I have of that, and I don't understand Bitcoin.
I think somebody would be Kroger and somebody would be Albertsons in this scenario, but I'm not really sure who.
Okay, but that takes a while to sort it out. I mean, no one's been able to completely give that to me where I get it. And then, look, I wouldn't.
And to your point, I don't understand the antitrust argument from the standpoint of no one's saying you can't get in. They just said you have to finish in the top 12.
Right.
And Boise State just showed you can do it.
Yeah.
They finished 9th.
Yeah.
They're in.
Yeah.
They lost the game and they're in.
So I didn't understand that.
Cincinnati got in a few years ago.
I don't understand the kowtowing to Notre Dame. I realized that Notre Dame got in anyway, but I didn't understand it. And
why does Notre Dame not have to fulfill the group of 5's bid instead of whatever? Why don't they take the non-power conference bid? And then why do they get special exception?
And then here, if you're going to do those things, and I said this all along, if you're going to do those things, I don't understand why you don't just follow a pattern that's already been established because it works. Do the NFL model. Go to 14. That's what they do. It works. Go to 16. That works all the time. Hell, they have a nickname for it.
They do.
People hang banners that say Sweet 16. They do. So why didn't you go to that number? And it's a legitimate question. And now they're going, okay, yeah, we'll probably need to go to 14 in 2026. I'm like, well, if you're going to do it in 2026, why not just go ahead and do it?
Because they're on a 2-year contract.
Then break the contract.
Well, and that's where this is the other point.
Contract with who?
Themselves. Well,
you're only going to add. You're going to make one more game meaningful.
It depends. This is the other interesting part of what happened yesterday.
Add the Citrus Bowl. They'll sign up.
This is what happened that's interesting. And it's why it probably has to be completely broken apart, because this is the first time. Sure, there have been some minor things and some bidding wars, but this is potentially the first time we're getting a real TV versus conference fight, which we haven't had. They've kind of all just made each other money and gotten along. And sure, TV's got the leg up, but we're simpatico to some extent.
Yeah.
This may be different because what Sankey and some of these guys have come out with quickly and said is, if you're going to judge all of the leagues the same, which they're not, he had some quote about they're just simply playing different sports at this point, and you're being unfair to everybody by playing the same thing. I don't have it, but whatever. It was gist. He said, give us more automatic bids. Give us 3, give us 4, put us in automatically, and then play it from there. And it's the first time you've had a big fight because the ESPN guy here, let me find the quote. He said no. Looking for this, blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Here we go. Says on the table is the continued sensitive subject of multiple automatic qualifiers going forward, as previously suggested by the SEC and Big Ten. One format being discussed for multiple AQs is a so-called play-in game during the regular season that would decide at least some of the automatic qualifiers on the field. The championship Saturday could be enhanced by not only number 1 and number 2 seeds meeting for the league title, but teams below those playing for automatic berths. Think of the top 6 teams, at least, being involved in a massive championship Saturday with 3 play-in games. Using this season's Big Ten and SEC standings is how it would look. So, like, Ole Miss would play South Carolina on that Saturday for a spot in the tournament in that format. Or Alabama would play Ole Miss, whatever.
So, in addition to the SEC championship game,
the 1 versus 2 would play, 3 versus 4 would play, 5 versus 6 would play, and you would have 3 automatic bids in those games.
Well,
you want to sell some ratings.
I mean, you put a doubleheader in the Georgia Dome or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
And the second game would have been Tennessee against Alabama. And the third game would have been Ole Miss against South Carolina. All 3 games, winners in.
So the loser of the championship game would be out?
They could still get an at-large bid. Again, this is a rough, raw thing.
Well, I mean, I feel sorry for every bar in Atlanta. But, yeah. I mean, okay.
But to my point.
I mean, the league's not doing that without a tremendous influx of cash.
So CFP Executive Director Richard Clark comes back and says, I heard rumors of it. I haven't studied it. Ultimately, that's a Big Ten and SEC decision on how they play within their conference and a commissioner decision on how we look in regard to the playoff. One Power 4 administrator, blah, blah, blah. Outside of the SEC and Big Ten, I know you're shocked by this, said ESPN has absolutely not said not. So this is not, okay, an athletics director at a conference outside of the Big Ten and SEC is quoting ESPN as saying absolutely not. This is not a direct quote from ESPN. This is the AD at Houston saying,
well, I mean, like, I'll be honest.
Because then it's an invitational. They love the tournament style. It's a mini version of the NCAA tournament. Yeah, 1 spot for your champion, but not multiple. Do you think the American public will put up with that? Yes, I absolutely do, actually. Yes.
Would the American public put up with what?
Multiple bids to a conference. Yes. We have no problem with that. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
This is like the AD at Utah or some shit.
See, this is the kind of crap that I don't get. It's why I'm not good at diplomacy. No. Yes. The truth is the tournament would be better with more SEC and Big Ten teams in it.
What's your argument? You think the NCAA basketball tournament would be just as good with just all the Power 5 teams? We would still watch Iowa State against Mississippi State.
I don't think that. I think it would be better. Yes, I think they ought to take a dozen SEC teams and put them in the NCAA tournament. Why? They all have great, big, rabid fan bases. Yes.
We would still fill our brackets out.
And if they happen to meet in the Sweet 16, even better. You're telling me you wouldn't watch Tennessee versus Kentucky in a Sweet 16 game?
We enjoyed the hell out of Will Wade playing Nate Oates every time in the postseason.
Yeah, they almost killed each other.
We dug that shit.
Of course. It was great.
Yeah.
Everyone continued. We marched on. They fought, had a moment, had some words. But, like, that's that thing, right? People go, well, maybe it's a little too passionate. No, it's probably good. Everybody's all right.
The winner moved on. Loser went home.
Nobody got executed.
No.
It was okay.
And I'm kind of with Paul. I actually want to go the other way. Just get rid of all the damn automatic bids.
Yes.
Top 12 teams in. Top 4, whatever the hell your number. I don't care. Just in. And again, it's not ruling anyone out. Boise State was the worst thing that potentially happened to all of them now because you go, no, you're in. You got in. You would have had a place at the table.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't have been the damn 3 seed.
Well, that's the problem, right?
Oregon has one of the toughest roads because of this crap.
Yes. Now, instead of just doing it and make it a meritocracy. The SEC champ's going to get in every damn year. You don't have to declare it.
They didn't need the automatic bid.
I mean, 11 and what is Georgia? 11-2?
Yes.
11-2 Georgia with losses at Alabama and at Ole Miss is making the effing tournament.
Yeah. And Texas was making the effing tournament.
Yeah, Tennessee at 10-2 was making the tournament. They are. Now, the problem is, and this is where the Big Ten gets so angry. And
from a team standpoint, the only shift would have been Clemson out and Alabama in.
Yeah.
The tournament is completely the same otherwise.
Yes. Well, I do question whether Indiana would have gotten in because their metrics are terrible.
Yeah. But I mean, from a straight, these are ranked the top 12 teams.
I mean, Indiana is the basketball team that has a 14-4 league record, but their net's like 78. And you're like, going, I don't know. What they don't beat anybody. They don't have any wins. The SEC 10 years ago, when Andy would have those teams, and you'd go, why are they not in? Well, they didn't beat anybody. Their league sucks. Why this year is everybody going to get in? Because anytime you win an SEC game, it's going to be a big win.
You're picking Notre Dame to beat Indiana in the playoff?
Yes. But if I'm Indiana and I'm the Big Ten, boy, I need that game. I need Penn State to make a run. I need something here.
No, look, I mean, everybody else doesn't need, which is what you should be rooting for, is Tennessee running through that part of the bracket, beating Ohio State, beating Oregon, and then waiting on Texas or Georgia on the other side. I'm going to tell you now,
I'm not betting against the Vols. I kind of think I know what I saw a little bit late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big Heupel fan. I think he's terrific.
He's done a good job, yeah.
I mean, I don't know the man. He's won everywhere he goes, and there's something about the way he sort of carries himself that makes me go, yeah. But no, I mean, hey, listen, and the pressure's on these 3 SEC teams.
Oh, you got to go. Yeah.
I mean, especially with Georgia being handicapped, Tennessee, Texas, y'all got some pressure on you.
Texas, you got the banner now. You need to carry it for a minute.
Yeah.
And look, Texas, I mean, said in the stream, Texas and Penn State have the best roads. 5 and 6 seeds are where you want to be.
Yeah. Well, we kind of thought that going in a little bit because of the AQs. Yeah. Now, I will say people are underselling Arizona State a little bit. They played really well the last half of the season.
They look like a different team than one that kind of scudded by State early in the year.
Yeah. Well, once they went to the Sparky on the helmet, they were kind of unbeatable. Look good, feel good, play good.
If you think it matters, it does. I mean,
it's a good look.
It is a good look.
Oh, it's a hell of a uniform.
I always kind of liked Arizona State a little bit. Like if it's an Arizona State versus Arizona thing, like Arizona's completely nondescript.
I've said it. If I get reincarnated as an American kid and I get to go to college someplace, that's probably where I'm going.
That's not a bad one, is it?
It looks fun.
I've only been out there one time. I had a good time. Covered the super regional out there in 2007.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. I've been there a few times. It always looks like it would be fun.
So do you anticipate an actual change prior to next season?
I thought you were about to ask if I anticipated reincarnation. I was
like,
I don't know. I doubt it.
That was not where I was going.
I don't know. If we're talking about it already, then yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't understand why anybody goes, well, we know this is broken. We know we can partially fix it. So let's wait a year. Why? Just do it. And don't give me the contracts. We have a contract. Well, change it. You're adding one game. Make it the Citrus Bowl. Call it a day.
If you're sorry, now you've got me off thinking. I mean, if we're believing reincarnation where you just continue to reincarnate constantly, and it's not just one more, but just for perpetuity, like a little stint is like a lab in an upper middle class American home wouldn't be the worst. 10, 12 years.
No, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I could handle that.
Yeah.
Get some chicken bone, go chase a tennis ball, get some exercise.
A well-loved Labrador Retriever?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Get a kid to play with.
It'd be awesome.
Could do a stint.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Sleep a lot. Go play a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody generally loves you. Yeah.
I growl at one person my entire life.
That's it.
Yeah.
One time. And it wasn't even a mean growl. It was just kind of like, I don't know.
It was that deep-throated growl where you went,
hey, just stay away. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone.
The only thing you expect to growl less is like a golden doodle. That's it. Like it's Black Lab 2, golden doodle 1. Like that, you're not expecting the growl at that point.
I'm not completely sold on golden doodles just yet.
Why?
I don't know. Just the whole poodle thing.
Well, and they have to be at least 50% poodle so they don't shed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And poodles always are kind of yappy, right? How did they get the yappy out of a golden doodle?
Well, I mean, I have experience now. It is completely I think it's up to the breeders somewhat. I think there's something even in early training because, yeah, you see some that are just psychopaths.
Yeah.
I mean, complete psychopaths.
Yeah, and that scares me.
And then some timid as hell. No, fine. Like, no
Yeah.
problems. Act like a damn lab almost. But, the large psychopathic golden doodle might be the worst dog on the planet. Because he's just like, it's like he's on crack
That's what I mean.
all the time.
So if I'm going to do that, why would I not just go ahead and go get the golden retriever or get the lab and just buy a vacuum?
Well, because you have to buy the vacuum and do it nonstop.
Yeah. If you sweep and vacuum daily,
well,
but we do. It takes 10 minutes.
All right.
It's a 10-minute deal. I put my AirPods on, turn on a podcast, and just do it. You've been downstairs in our house. I do it in 10 minutes.
Yeah, most are 75% poodle because you breed a poodle with a golden doodle. So that's 75% poodle, 25% golden retriever.
Okay.
It guarantees the no shedding.
Gotcha.
Because you get much more golden retriever wise.
Do they retrieve?
I have not tried. I don't know.
So you can't just go outside and just throw a stick for 2 hours.
No, I mean you probably have to teach it a little bit. I don't think that. A working border collie, full career fulfillment, endless joy, naps, friends.
Yeah, sure.
Got a little purpose about you.
Yeah.
Go herd the sheep.
I wouldn't want to come back as a German Shepherd because they might put me on police work, and I don't know that I want to do that.
You don't want to do public service?
Might get shot. That's a hard job being a police dog.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you're really working.
You are.
And they tell you don't pet him. Isn't that part of the fun of being a dog is to get petted?
Oh, it kind of sucks. People don't just walk up and touch the police dog.
Because you want him, he's locked in, he's working, he's sniffing, he's doing his stuff.
Wasn't somebody did I dream this a few years ago? Like somebody tried to hit or slap one of the horses, and that's assaulting an officer.
Yeah,
downtown.
Yeah, you can't hit it.
No
police horse.
Yeah,
it's an
officer.
It's an officer.
Yeah,
yeah.
They do a number for crowd control because you don't get overly close to a horse.
No,
most people are a little scared of horses.
Bigger than you think they are. Big horses.
Yeah.
I always wonder, when people come to Oxford for the first time and they go up to the square and there's these police horses around, they're like, "What's going on? Why do you need? Why do they have horses?" The first time, if they don't know anything, if you just drop somebody in and they're looking around and there's all these policemen on horses and stuff, you'd be like, "Wait, is this a violent place?
Are we in a riot situation?
What's going on?"
It's no, it's just crowd control. It's fine.
Yeah.
People just stay away. Meander through them. I don't know what
we're like 4 or 5 days away from the greatest 2 or 3 weeks in Oxford.
When all the kids are gone.
It's awesome.
And it gets better by the year because there's more students the rest of the year. And they don't go home in the summer anymore.
No.
80% just stay.
No, Oxford summer is a thing of the past. That doesn't exist.
But you do get Christmas.
Yeah. Because they all go home now.
Yeah,
It's magnificent. I'll go out in Oxford more in the next 2 weeks than I will the other 50 combined.
You would have been. You can tell me here. Let's do the break. I'll come back. I'll ask you the question. Northeast Spark, fastest, most reliable internet option available. Whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends, Spark offers both residential and business packages with speeds of 2 gigabits. Remember the 100 megabytes now 300 for the exact same price. So to learn more, register for service. That's AnySpark.com. AnySpark, get connected. Stay local.
Speaking of Oxford, if you're in Oxford doing some Christmas shopping, Christmas 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away, Arnett's Fine Jewelry is a great place to stop. It's located in the old Lammon's Jewelry Building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer everything that you would be looking for in jewelry, including everything you could be looking for gifts. They want to be your jeweler. They've got everything from stone bands, pearls, color stones, diamond jewelry, of course, stackable diamonds, and much more at Arnett's Fine Jewelry. The College Corner, also a place to come if you're in Oxford. Stop at the College Corner right off of Sisk Avenue in the Oxford Commons. The They've got everything you could be looking for the Ole Miss fan in your life, more than 4,000 square feet of the best Rebel gear. It's also 2 locations in Jackson, and you can go to collegecornerstore.com. When you work with Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services team, you gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. It's myargentwealth.com. If you're planning a trip that you want to create a lifetime of unique memories, get in touch with John Edwards. Give him a budget, give him some parameters, let him give you some options, and know this, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or J. Edwards at regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com.
The Declaration of Independence Center for the Study of American Freedom, located on the Ole Miss campus, and aims to explore and examine the fundamental and founding principles of the United States of America. Centers offers an academic minor in freedom studies and scholarship opportunities for Ole Miss students that bring along lots of networking potential. To learn more, contact Stephen Scoltetti at freedom@olemiss.edu or visit independence.olemiss.edu. So, talked about this a little bit. Again, I'm going back for some lab work later in the month. We'll talk about more about the men's clinic in the next break. But one of the things is getting away from running for a little while, doing a lot more strength, flexibility stuff. So, got ready to take up yoga again. You know, I did it for a while last year, but kind of stopped during marathon training. I just couldn't really do it. So I had been in a while. They've gotten busier, which is good. I really appreciate all the people over there. Glad it's going well. But I'm wondering, would you have walked out or what would you have done here? So I haven't been to class since I looked. I had not been to a yoga class since June the 11th.
Okay.
And I signed up for Power Flow, which is kind of a cardio thing. You're moving pretty quickly, but one that I've done a lot. They play music, fast pace. It's pretty good. And hot yoga, not regular. Yeah, it was. I think they kept it like maybe 106 for this, something like that. Humidity's like 65%. So when I get there, I notice there's probably more cars than usual. I walk in. I don't know where there's even room to put the mat down, and it ends up being. I think maybe I didn't count exactly right, but I think it was me and 21 sorority girls in the room. And when I say you're close, I mean the mat's like 3 or 4 inches from everyone around you in every way. So the teacher comes in.
Oh, it lasted 10 seconds.
The teacher comes in and goes, hey, we're going to do something a little more fun for Christmas. We're going to do like this cardio thing. So suddenly then it's even not the routine I'm expecting to. And she's talking and she's like, I know y'all are stressed for final exams. And like this entire thing was geared around them. And here's me, 41-year-old Chase, sitting in the top left corner. Just I hung in there. I did the class. I did not leave. But
wow,
I wondered.
Couldn't have done it.
You don't think so?
No way.
But I was up in the corner, so by the time it filled in, you had to like stepped over all of them to leave too. It would have been really obvious and
it was
like
too
weird.
Tough. Yeah, you were stuck. Yeah,
it's a different experience.
Yeah, I did.
I got out and I was like, ooh.
Closest thing I did to that was I did a plank class that Campbell was teaching, and Carson was there too. And had Carson not been there, it was me and him and a bunch of females. And no, I was okay because it was my daughter doing it. So I was all right.
I did one yesterday afternoon, and there was actually I was one of 4 males in there, including Jamin Brakefield. He was in there with me yesterday. So we were a little. I think it was 14 total people and 10 to 4 on the whatever. So it worked out fine yesterday.
Well, that's better.
Yeah. It was okay. But yeah, 2 days ago, I walked out and I was like, oh God, I need to avoid that class moving forward. That's not the time slot. But what got me thinking about it is they'll all be gone in a week.
Yeah.
So I can go whenever I want to next week. Then they'll be back.
And they'll be back with a vengeance because they'll be in spring break training mode.
Oh. we're in boot camp now.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
No, I didn't leave. I was locking in. It was my class too. Not really, but there we were. Yeah, they have hot spin there too. I've only done spin one time. I don't like it at all. The bike, it does not work well for me.
Oh, really?
No. I felt terrible after that.
Oh,
which probably means I should do it more. But
yeah, I probably would like that.
Yeah. They do yoga, bar, spin, and rowing. Hot, all of them.
Oh, yeah.
That's the 4.
Yeah.
There's a 30-minute.
Hot rowing would be interesting.
There's a 30-minute HIIT training rowing class that I have some interest in. I haven't done one yet, but that
rowing's a really good workout.
I've never done it. So
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I had a little bit of a moment there. All SEC first team, Ole Miss putting. I don't know the last time they had this many people on it, but it's got to be a minute.
But you know what they didn't have?
They didn't have an offensive lineman or a running back.
They didn't have an offensive lineman.
They did not.
Had everything else, but they didn't have that. Had a quarterback.
First time since Eli Jackson Dart making first team All SEC.
Had wide receivers. Had defensive linemen.
Trey making third team, I get because he was hurt, but I'm also surprised because didn't he still finish like first or second in receiving yards?
But he missed so much football.
Yeah. I don't blame it. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I mean,
you could argue him for second team.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that was unfair.
Jackson, their one first team offensive player. And then on defense, they get Walter Nolan first team, Princey Umanamelen first team, and Trey Amos first team. So 4 first team.
Yeah.
Big East, Ivy makes second or third team. Perkins makes third team. Trey Harris third team.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as you said, no OLs.
But no offensive lineman. Speaks volumes. It really does. What went wrong? I mean, not much went wrong. They went 9-3. But what went wrong? Why did they not make the playoff ultimately? You can do the play here or play there. No, I think I think that's skipping over the obvious. I think they didn't make it because they just weren't good enough up front on offense. And if you watched them, and you guys didn't watch them the way I watched them because I watch football really weird these days. If you sat in a press box with binoculars on them for 11 games, and I did, it was undeniable. What happened?
I've been getting jokes all morning. I had a buddy to send it to me. I meant to lead the show with this. Our boy back in the SEC. All these years later, got a gig. Mike Shula.
Oh, yeah.
South Carolina offensive coordinator.
How about that?
Sources saying he has a coordinator gig in the SEC.
Yeah.
He's back, baby.
Yeah.
I know he barely missed out on the opportunity a few years ago, but now rolling.
I mean, hey, it wasn't long ago that college and NFL sources indicated that he was a
prime
candidate for the Ole Miss head coaching job. NFL sources that they found on Thanksgiving night. Incredible.
You're sourced.
Some way. Hey,
I mean, look,
some of the best reporting I've ever seen.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I mean, they were talking to NFL people at 2 a.m. on Thanksgiving night. Waking people up from their turkey nap, all the tryptophan, even though it was still racing through people's bodies, they answered that call. Yes, sir. You better believe it. Yeah, I can confirm Mike Shula. Absolutely.
Tennessee with 1, 2, 3 offensive first teamers and then 1 defensive, so they end up with 4 too.
Yeah.
Kyle Kennard for South Carolina was a beast this season.
He's a stud.
Dylan Stewart got paid, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, and they probably will renegotiate 2 or 3 more times before the season starts, but got a big payday.
Credit to them. They know who they're look. I mean, that's a team. If you say, hey, who's the team that you're kind of watching next year? South Carolina. I mean, Sellers got third team at SEC quarterback, and it's hard to argue.
God, I would have lost money on that one early in the year. He got so much better late in the year, second half of the season.
And now he gets to work with Mike Shula.
Cooking with gas.
Unstoppable. I mean, Gamecocks national champs.
Who's also about to get paid by somebody is Michael Van Buren, jumping into the portal from Mississippi State.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they cut him now that they have Jackson Arnold, so they're fine.
They don't have Arnold yet.
Details.
Yeah.
I got Blake Shapen. He's back, right?
He is back.
Is he coming back?
That's what he said.
Okay.
I mean, my source on this is Blake Shapen's social media.
Okay. Van Buren will get paid by somebody. Kid can play.
Oh, I thought he was good.
He's got multiple years left.
I thought he
had
was
a good year with nothing around him.
I mean, I saw him in person.
I would have helped. It would have been tough for me to let him go if I could have helped it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, hot take. I want him more than Arnold. Maybe.
I like Arnold.
I do too. I thought the worst thing Oklahoma did all year was benching Arnold. Give him the damn reps and let's see what happens. But I don't know. I think Van Buren's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with Grant. Great job by Beamer. Absolutely. Who got SEC Coach of the Year?
I haven't seen that.
I guess it's Heupel.
I had them they were my playoff team at the preseason anyway, though. I don't know that he overachieved necessarily.
So it's Clark Lee?
I'm Beamer or Clark Lee.
I think I'm Beamer.
Yeah, I'm either one of those. I'm fine. He went 9-3. I mean, I get Vandy had a couple really big games, but still went 6-6.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with Coach of the Year at 6-6. Although your win-loss in Vegas was what, 1.5, 2.5?
2.5.
So you did overachieve.
I got that one right. I said give me the over.
Yeah.
I like Van Buren a lot, though. I saw him Black Friday here. I was impressed. I walked away going, that kid can play.
No, I was too. Yeah, I'm with you.
Because he didn't have anything around him.
Yeah, Beamer's my Coach of the Year. I'm thinking about it more and more as we're talking.
Is the wide receiver Coleman? Has he gotten in the portal yet?
I haven't seen that.
Okay.
They had
because I heard something really specific on him.
They had a corner just got into the portal, their best corner, and I don't know from there. Ole Miss at least somewhat kicking the tires on Anthony Colandrea from Virginia, by the way.
I mean, some people are reporting he's coming in, right?
I don't know.
I'm having a hard time keeping up with the portal. It's hard.
Well, there's 400 kids.
Well, and there's 80,000 people that are just regurgitating. Like, they get in the portal like, okay, here's in the portal. And it's like, what does this mean? I don't know. Give me a minute. You don't get a minute. I mean, is Ole Miss looking at so-and-so and so-and-so? Well, yeah, they're probably talking about literally everyone that enters the portal. That doesn't mean that they're going to bring 400 people to Oxford.
No, well, I mean, anyone who they thought was getting into the portal and were talking to, they'd already pre-filmed them anyway. If an analyst looking at all the film and figuring it out and then figuring out what they might want or not want. Or
right. Putting evaluation
on them. There was dossiers already.
Oh, that's good.
Already assembled
I like that word.
A lot of these guys. Speaking of those, they're using in coaching searches a lot. Bill Belichick is or isn't mulling an offer right now from Carolina. Some people are saying that he basically presented a pamphlet himself to North Carolina. Some saying North Carolina has made him some level of offer.
I know
a lot of rumors out there are saying he wants to bring his kid along as the coach in waiting.
Yeah. I know something very specifically that's fascinating, but it is so off the record, and I can't go there, and it's driving me a little crazy. Sorry. It's not about Belichick. It's about something else at Carolina.
So
if he does this, he's doing it for his son, right?
Yes. I saw some think pieces, and we'll continue this after the break in a second. I saw some think pieces about, Belichick to college, now that college is like the pros, he's going to be so well assembled for this. It's like,
no.
Bill Belichick is the least well-assembled human on earth for this. Is he not? Am I missing something?
Well, Bill Belichick did.
He's a curmudgeon. He doesn't want to deal with all the crap and the pomp and all the stuff that goes around this. Their NIL is not going to be $28 million there. It's just not.
And beyond that, what he did so well in New England was the draft.
Yeah, and now that
they
doesn't
don't
exist.
have a draft.
They're like, well, he's going to get everybody ready for the NFL. Get scrubs ready?
Yeah.
Who's he getting ready?
I agree.
Wow, if you're Carolina, you just came off hiring a corpse. Why would you do it again?
The other name that I know is involved on that would make so much more sense for them.
Did you read the athletic story about all the disconnect between their foundation and their athletic department and their board?
No. But I'm not surprised.
Ralph Russo reporting that essentially a board of trustees member was just making offers to Belichick without even any athletic department approval. Just going, hey, come coach and we'll figure it out.
Well, for all the people out there that want private equity firms to join in, understand that's where that would go. Private equity firms wouldn't go call up the boosters and
they have no soul.
Yes, they
One
wouldn't.
thing matters.
They wouldn't care. Hey, would this guy fit your school? They don't care. We think he'd help us win more and be more efficient. We're hiring him. And all of a sudden, you'd have somebody at the university of wherever that has absolutely no ties to it, has never worked in that region of the country, and is a complete, you go for it. Ask Brian Harsin in Auburn how that works out.
I mean, this feels illogical to me. There's a couple dudes, probably a couple old people in a room, and a couple old people in a room that want the name with no understanding of what this actually looks like.
And by the way, the people that are like, why would Bill Belichick do this? He's got this 20-whatever-year-old girl. Okay, he's in his 70s, people. All right? I know what I'd do all day. Not in your 70s, you wouldn't. So stop. Okay? I mean, quit. I mean, at some point, we got to have some realistic conversations about some of these things.
How old is she?
She's in her 20s.
Is she?
Yeah. But he's not.
He is not. Mother Nature winning and whatnot.
Yeah. And he's also one of those people, when people go, why would he do this? Because this is what he does. This is who he is. He wants to coach again. And if he can truly get a contract that his son gets the gig, I'm skeptical about those, by the way. Maybe he does it. Maybe this is like some challenge or something. I don't know. I mean, it's possible that 399 pages of his demands have something to do with Viagra and Cialis and all of that. I kind of doubt it, but maybe.
What percentage do you give this of happening?
I haven't followed it closely enough to really know. I mean, I haven't. It's interesting.
It's very interesting, but I do not believe this is some foreshadowing of a bunch of NFL coaches deciding the college game is better for them.
No.
Bill has no options, even if he takes this. He couldn't get the freaking Falcons job last year.
Look, just yesterday, Lane Kiffin was bitching about the system. Okay,
yeah.
College coach, and he's right. So I'm not criticizing Lane.
I meant to talk about some of that, and I forgot.
There is, you can't find a college football coach that goes, oh yeah, the water's great. There's not one. They don't exist.
There's nothing wrong.
They're all going, this is insane. The calendar's nuts. So no, there's no line of. It's probably the opposite. There's a lot of college coaches who are like, hey, that NFL thing.
That schedule's cool.
How can we? Yeah, I like that life-work balance thingy. Let's do that.
You don't think Sean McVay goes, you know what? Coaching SC would be awesome.
No, not even a little bit. I don't.
Mm-mm.
No, I don't. I don't think you could drag Cliff Kingsbury back to the college game.
Yeah.
I don't think you could call up Campbell. What's his name with the Lions?
Dan Campbell.
I don't think you could call him up, and I don't think there's a college job that you could interest him in.
No.
I think you could offer him Bama and Georgia and Ohio State, and he'd go, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, just no. So, but Belichick doesn't appear, because the NFL is a copycat league. And so right now, hiring Bill Belichick isn't following any pattern in the NFL.
And he doesn't fit the college game. He doesn't relate to those kids. What he does well is completely the antithesis of what you would have to do at the college level. It's not possible.
Someone says, Knox Harrington says, imagine Bill talking to local media there. He would probably handle that the way he handled the New England. It actually would be even better. I mean, Lane doesn't do local media. It hasn't hurt him at all.
No.
I mean, that's not a criticism. It just hasn't hurt him a bit. You don't have to do that. And Bill Belichick's a big enough name, kind of like Kiffin is.
Do whatever he wants. Yeah.
You could get He could, if he felt like, hey, I need to get on Dan Patrick, he would just call up the Dan Patrick people and go, hey, you want Coach Belichick on?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Podcast brought to you by the Citizens Bank. Not just an account number, but a valued member of the community. And now if you find yourself in the market for a mortgage, another reason to give them a try. Whit Wilson, who many of you know in the mortgage space, now at the Citizens Bank, ready to help you with your real estate goals. Stop by and visit 902 Sisk Avenue, Suite E. Discuss your options with Whit or any of their experienced bankers. And while you're there, check out the School Spirit debit cards. They donate an amount per every single transaction to the local school of your choice, whether it's Oxford, Lafayette, or Regents. That's the Citizens Bank, PHILA.com.
Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur looking to help? Andy Ludicky can help you. He is a longtime Rivals board member, a diehard college football fan, and a franchise veteran. He owns multiple franchises and businesses. He uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy, put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. It's myperfectfranchise.net. 404-973-9901 or that's it. Or Andy at myperfectfranchise.net, I should say. Located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana, Parrish Brewing Company's simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer, and they've done it. My favorite, Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA. It's brewed with obscene quantities of hand-selected Citra hops from their favorite farm in Yakima Valley, Washington. You can expect pungent grapefruit aromas and flavors, tropical fruit, and less harsh bitterness than most double IPAs. Again, it's Ghost in the Machine. It's made by Parrish Brewing Company. Wherever you're looking for beer, Parrish is the way to go. I'll have a mailbag to you later today. It's brought to you by Art Hayes of Sotheby's International Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art Hayes can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask him how. 612-805-5929 or email Art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com. We're brought to you by Kaiser Flooring, locations in Oxford and Batesville. Kaiser Flooring provides outstanding quality flooring products and installation services to residential and commercial properties. Kaiser carries the best in hardwood, laminate, vinyl, and tile flooring, as well as carpeting. Their goal is to offer amazing, durable flooring products and superior services to make your life easier. To learn more, go to kaiserflooring.com or call them in Oxford or Batesville. And we're brought to you by Meadowbrook Wealth Advisors of Raymond James. It's a full-service investment team based in Jackson, providing financial planning and investment management to clients across the state and surrounding areas. Ryan Geary and his partners are a local team that utilize the strength and resources of a national firm to bring their clients an impeccable level of service. This includes access to investment strategies, portfolio managers not available to all investors. If you're interested in a no-obligation consultation or you just want to be added to their monthly market update email list, reach out to financial advisor Ryan Geary with Meadowbrook Wealth Advisors of Raymond James at 601-368-2215 or ryan.geary@raymondjames.com. Raymond James and Associates Incorporated, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC.
Mentioned it earlier, the men's clinic in Madison and Brandon, 601-607-7869. They're in Madison. Their goal is to make sure their patients remain as healthy and as strong as possible throughout the aging process. They optimize testosterone, improve sleep, reduce inflammation, treat insulin resistance, and much more. That's themanthing.com to set up an appointment. After the first appointment, they can treat you pretty much from everywhere. Low energy levels, no motivation, decrease in muscularity, increase in belly fat, a lot of other stuff they can help you out with there, specializing in men's health. Again, that's themanthing.com. Today's waste of time for taxpayers. You see where the Ohio State Representative Josh Williams introduced the OHIO Sportsmanship Act, would make it a felony offense to plant a flag in the middle of Ohio Stadium there in Columbus.
He should lose his job right now. Literally.
He should.
There's so many other things in the state of Ohio.
You took hours to pander and be funny when there's so many issues.
So many things that could be done. You have all sorts of issues with a variety of things in any state, Ohio included, and you're worried about planting a flag. A felony offense.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. Yeah, soft. And not just soft. It's just a waste of time. You know, when you're a state representative or something, you're serving a group. You represent. That's the way. It's a representative government, which means you represent.
You take their problems to the Capitol and try to get them fixed.
And those people have everyday problems, and worrying about somebody planting a damn flag on a football field ain't one of them.
They're worried about roads and infrastructure and education and everything else that would have to do with their area.
All the things that are happening, education, all the things that are happening that impact their daily lives. Prices, infrastructure, like you said, things of that nature. Stop. Just stop. That's not even funny. Stop.
I give Lane like a 9.5 yesterday during the press conference. I mean, he said the transcript read like he is very excited for the Gator Bowl coming up January 2nd. He only had a mild sense of sarcasm in some of the things he said yesterday, including some cat that covered Duke really struggling through a question. I'm pretty sure Lane had to walk away from the camera to keep from laughing into the camera as the guy was talking.
Yeah, Lane probably walked over to where Kyle Campbell was standing in the room and yelled at him.
Why am I here?
Why this is avoidable.
I mean, Kyle could have looked at him and went, you lost to Kentucky. That's why you're here.
Oh, that wouldn't go over well.
That's why you're here.
Oh, that might actually go over well. I think Lane's well aware. I wonder how many times he thinks about Kentucky.
That Brock Grant Vandegrift throw.
He thinks about
the
that
one
throw and he thinks about the Sunter and Perkins play.
Thing. Yeah.
That's a hell of a play by Nussmeier. Jeez.
But, I mean, for a second, again, Neal wrote a story on Jackson Dart. He's playing in the game. Lane intimating that as of now, most players saying they're going to play in the game. We'll see what actually happens when January 2nd gets here. Duke has no quarterback. Malik Murphy is in the portal.
One of the other kids got in the portal last night.
Oh, one of the other
Diaz, Manny talked about two guys yesterday. One of those cats got in the portal.
Okay, so they have one scholarship quarterback.
And I don't know whether he's the one that actually has thrown one pass or not. I don't know.
One kid hasn't played. One kid has thrown one pass, completed one pass for 7 yards.
Correct.
Those are their quarterbacks, or one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, then one dude, God help him, the dude who covered Duke, he goes, Manny, can you kind of get into kind of what your game plan is going to be? It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and Manny, to his credit, his everlasting credit, he had this big cup of coffee that he was knocking it down. He was drinking the coffee. I assume it was coffee. He was drinking coffee. It was wild. I like Manny Diaz, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a fan. He was like, look.
I don't know,
right? I mean, right now, we just finished high school stuff.
Yeah.
I got this portal stuff going on. I don't know if you just heard, but my quarterback just got in the portal. I got to go get a new one. I got stuff on my plate. That game's not till January the 2nd. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to put in a game plan that we think gives us the best chance possible, which is my job.
Yeah.
My job is to try to put a game plan together that gives us the best chance to win possible. That's my gig. That's what they pay me for. I'm going to put him in. We're going to try to do it. I don't know what it's going to look like.
Because his thought bubble is the portal is actually what matters. Frankly, I don't even really care right now. And two, Jesus Christ, if all his guys are playing, and we aren't winning the damn game anyway, so who cares?
Yeah. And so I'm going to phrase this in a way that says that. And I'm shocked at how many people in our field didn't get it. He basically said, if they're going to play everybody, and I don't, number one, we're probably not going to win anyway.
Yeah.
Now I'm down to a third-team quarterback. I'm just going to try to, he made the comment, he goes, against them, any quarterback's going to have a bad day.
Yeah. So, his quote was, our chaos meter is really high.
It's really high. It was a great quote. Our chaos meter is really high. It's probably not going to go well, but we'll do our job.
Yes.
Our job is to try to assemble a plan and put something together that gives us the best chance possible to win the game.
But if Ole Miss is playing all those dudes, I mean, Duke's offense is about to go score 3 points, 6 points.
Yeah,
I mean,
and given Lane's comments about the ACC,
he's about to run it up.
I mean, I think.
Do you anticipate, even if Ole Miss guys play, do you think it's for a half or something, though?
I mean,
you're guessing.
I would think it's different things for different people. Like
Trey Amos playing 82 snaps doesn't feel likely, but I mean,
if you're Trey and you're Trey's people and you think you have a first round grade and the game's basically decided in the second quarter, I don't know why you'd play in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the cost benefit analysis. I mean, frankly, Trey, Princely, Walter. I mean, I think if they decided not to play, nobody would criticize it.
Yeah, there's a list of players who have the ability to opt out of this game.
You know, I think Dart wants to play.
Yeah.
Jackson doesn't have a super high grade. Not going to hurt him. I mean, you know, everybody can get hurt. You can get hurt playing anything. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, it's really a weird spot because for Ole Miss, it's kind of like they wanted to get the 10th win. It's a selling point. It means something that I feel certain they're going to get it. You get the 10th win, and on one hand, it's like,
yay.
And on the other hand, it's like, wow. You know, I mean, just yesterday there were 3 national quarterfinal games, and you probably should have been in one of them.
Yeah.
And so
instead, I beat the hell out of a team that I was better than anyway and was completely handicapped.
And their quarterback just committed to an SEC school.
Yeah, I'll see him next year in Norman or wherever.
I think he's visiting Auburn.
Is he?
I think.
Well, they don't play next year.
No, but my point is he's playing in your league next year, and he's not even there. I mean, I had multiple people tell me yesterday that my move the portal window, make it one window and put it in the spring, fixes everything, which means it'll never happen.
Yeah, we can't fix anything.
Not allowed to fix anything. Well, you're taking away anything that might take away
from players.
I'm not taking it away. I'm moving it.
Yeah.
I think the December window, I know some fans love it. If you think about it logically, if you put your fan card down and think about the portal window in December, it is illogical.
Completely. Because Lane did the same thing kind of yesterday. He did on Tuesday or Wednesday, I guess. He kind of got to the answer and went, hell, it's just so dumb. Like he just couldn't help himself.
Yeah.
And he just started talking. So, anyway.
Oh, I mean, he's right. I mean, he's like, can you imagine the NFL playoffs are beginning and the players are declaring free agency? Can you imagine? The NBA playoffs begin and the Lakers have 2 guys that I declare free agency.
No, I mean, again, there is a completely real world based off of everything else. Like you said, I mean, it probably not happening with that guy, obviously, because Ole Miss probably has their quarterback. But, yes, Malik Murphy could be committed and signed with Ole Miss on the day of the game. Theoretically, could be on the Ole Miss sideline just in street clothes. Because it's not like he's still going to be at Duke. He's going to be relieved from their program.
Right. Well, when does the intercession start at Ole Miss?
The Christmas session is like January, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, something like that.
3rd's a Monday, right?
Then okay, whatever that day is.
No, it's not.
I don't know. It's always right after New Year's. I don't have an academic calendar.
Yeah, so I mean, it's conceivable he could be enrolled in an intercession class.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, I don't think Malik Murphy's on Ole Miss's radar, but there's a world where that could happen. And anybody that thinks, oh, yeah, that's cool, that's normal. No, it's not. That's stupid. I mean, it's idiotic. The whole thing, the whole system makes so much more sense in the spring. You have a free agency window like they do in the NFL. They have one. You sort of know when it is. It happens. And then they're done with it.
One date that is very important for portal, because really it's the only date that matters, which is classes beginning and whether you're sitting in a desk that week, January 21st. So go ahead and get that in your heads for the spring. January 21st is the day that classes begin at Ole Miss.
Okay.
We dealt with that last year with Tyler Barron and others. So just
Tyler Barron.
Yeah. What was the other kid's name? What was the other kid from Louisville?
Oh God.
I don't remember.
Yeah, see, I've gotten really good at blocking stuff like that out. I block those memories out.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Like on my deathbed, I'm not going to go, I wish I'd worked a little harder on that Tyler Barron story.
I think he was like a linebacker or Tyron McDonald.
Oh, yeah. What happened to him? Did he play this year?
I don't know.
Did Tyler Barron have a good year?
Is it Miami? Is that where he was?
I think so.
Okay.
So he's still playing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wonder how he did.
Okay. All right. Jeffrey tomorrow, MPW Digital, rebelgrove.com. Any updates coming throughout the day and week? Appreciate you guys. Good action in the stream today. Again,
wouldn't you love to see TJ Finley's academic transcript?
Just landmines. Just landmines. All. There used to be a rule you had to be a certain percentage toward like academic graduation credits, but
they threw that out.
Did they?
Yeah. I think they threw that out in 2020.
What was like the rumor? I know we're stopping, but like the rumor, was it last year when Musselman was in trouble? They're going to get him for APR. It was like, APR exists?
I know.
That's a number?
That's what I told people. I'm like, what? That's not real. I mean,
maybe on paper somewhere, but come on.
Eric probably looked around and went, yeah, oh, you're picking on me? I mean, everybody's APR? I mean, look around the league.
It was when Will Wade left, right? LSU had one player.
Yeah.
Wasn't that right?
Yeah.
They had one walk-on?
Yeah.
And that was it?
That was it.
He met – well, Arkansas did it. Cal went, he goes, I would meet with the team, but there is no team.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, I met with the team. There is no team. So insane. Think about that. We opened talking about a basketball game. Think about that. If I told you 10 years ago that a college coach in the SEC would take a job where there were no scholarship players.
Yes.
And months later have a full roster that is a tournament-bound team.
NCAA tournament worthy.
Give me a break.
Yeah, I know. All right, rebelgrove.com, MPW Digital. More soon, more later, and we'll talk to you no more.